Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and in the world of culture. I'm Chris Love. Beaumont's Tyrrell Park is known for its beauty, but tucked inside is a place where nature and learning come together. I spoke with Nature Center Manager Rebecca Woodland to hear about the best of Beaumont. Well, thank you so much for having us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just great.
That's good, good. So can you tell us, for the people who may not be familiar with the Tyrrell Park Nature and Visitor Center, can you tell us what is that about, and what is your role there as well?
So the Tyrrell Park Nature and Visitor Center is the renovated historic building out in the middle of Tyrrell Park. And my job as Nature Center Manager is not only to handle operations, but to provide education programming for school kids from first grade on up to adult seniors. And we give guided tours and do programming. Most people may not realize that the actual building in which we're housed is a historic building that was built during the Great Depression from the late 1930s to June of '41. And it was to be a recreation building, a community center for the citizens of Beaumont, because Tyrrell Park was to be the premier park at that time period.
Gotcha.
Many people, it was unair conditioned, and many people, particularly our seniors, remember having class reunions, company picnics, and so forth. Unfortunately, in 2005, when we had Hurricane Rita, and then of course Hurricane Ike, it damaged the roofs, and so the building sat kind of tarped over and uninhabited for many years. My position is part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is funded as part of a hotel occupancy tax as a visitor center, which is why we're a nature and visitor center. Okay. And we needed to expand our ecotourism efforts, and so we renovated it during COVID, and I moved in May of 2022, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Wow. That's awesome. And I can, by the photos that we saw, I mean, it looks amazing, like from where it was, when the hurricanes hit it. But going in there now, it's just so great. And I love how you guys, can you tell us a little bit more about the artifacts and all the things that you guys were able to preserve from, the rebuilding?
Right. It's fascinating when you study the Civilian Conservation Corps and the Great Depression and all those employment projects. Our particular building is unique in the sense that we have oral histories where they would send these young men out to Bolivar Peninsula, Crystal Beach area every day, and they'd rake up shells. And the actual building is handmade bricks with cement and the shells from Crystal Beach area. And that's one of the reasons the walls survived. Unfortunately, wood didn't survive, and the termites kind of got into it, but we tried to preserve as much as we could. I know when you came out, we actually have a lot of bas-relief sculpture in our building, and it's all sort of a fish shell. There's a couple of reflecting pool fountains that, one of them I call it the creature of the Black Lagoon. I think it's a made-up fish, but so it has that shell, fish, and turtle kind of theme to it. And we salvaged all that and retrofitted a lot of things to air condition it and make it useful for today.
Indeed, that is amazing. So what makes the Nature and Visitor Center such a special place and such a special part of the Beaumont community?
Right. Well, we are on 2 migratory bird paths, and Cattail Marsh and the Wetland Center is our sister facility, and we realize that we have birders come from all over the world. In fact, I was doing my October attendance, and I had someone from Austria and all sorts of states. I've had people from China, from France, all over, come to look at the wildlife. Well, we wanted to expand that programming, and so that's why we took over this building and salvaged it from demolition. And it's a gem. You cannot find very many buildings left from the CCC camps. And in Texas, they all became, except for us, became the Texas State Park System. And so you'll have the remnants of a footbridge or stairs to somewhere, that's no longer there. This is one of the few buildings that was salvaged. So that's what's unique. But we're in the middle of the park, and I like to say we're one of the oldest buildings still in the park, but we're the newest kid on the block.
Right.
Because we have the botanical gardens, you have, of course, the golf course, the stables where Miss Rita does horseback riding and trail rides and lessons, Cattail Marsh, our sister Hampshire facility. We're the start and end of the disc golf course in Tyrrell Park, which a lot of people may not know that we have. And right behind us, behind the playground, is a cricket pitch.
Oh, really?
And so all of that preceded us. And then, like I said, we renovated the building, salvaged what we could, and then we're doing programming. So we want people to take advantage. We don't rent out our building because we are doing field trips for school groups, both Beaumont, Hampshire Finette, Viter, the private schools. A lot of homeschool groups will schedule programming. And then we do what I call public programming. This will be my 4th year to do Nature Explorers, which is a periodic, sort of quarterly, it depends, on select Saturdays where we will set up what I call discovery stations. They're activity stations on whatever that topic is. So we've done things on Earth Day, we've done things on the wetlands, birds, pollinators. It just varies as to what the season is. And most of our families, that's open to anyone, and you can always check our Facebook page when those get scheduled. I'm working on the 2026 calendar now. But we also do stargazing. And the beauty, we took the fact that there are no parking lot lights near our building, because we're in the middle of the park, so there's no lighting once it gets dark. But we took that and made lemons out of lemonade, or lemonade versus lemons, and we do stargazing. So it gets dark enough that you can see within city limits. It's not completely dark. There is one overhead light. We have security lighting right up next to the building, but we set up in the parking lot. We block it off. We do activities inside that are space related. We partner with several organizations to do that. Texas Master Naturalists, the Children's Museum, Village Creek State Park brings their scope. Big Thicket brings their telescope. The Astronomical Society of Southeast Texas joins us. LIT joins us because they've got a scope. And so we do the scope stuff. So we're all about nature. Obviously, our primary focus is birds, pollinators, and wetlands, but anything that's nature related. So we do public programming. We do private field trips and school groups. I've even had some church groups come, and they'll do their senior Sunday school group, and they'll set up a guided tour, and we'll walk through the building and do that, and I'll do a little PowerPoint sort of on the history. And so we're doing lots of things like that. We're the hidden gem in the park.
Awesome. So I know you just talked about like some of the things that you do with the school groups and stuff like that. Tell me a little bit more about that, like the programming and stuff, what all that entails.
So I have, any group can call me. They just need to call because I'm the sole staff person, so I have to coordinate a bunch of schedules. But so the sooner they call, the better. Most of my programs run about an hour and a half. And our philosophy is to be, when I do a program on a topic, say on owls or bears, I have we call it From Polar to Panda Bear, and we learn all about the types of bears, and they learn cool scientific facts, but we teach to all the disciplines, meaning that they have kinetic learning, they have visual learning, auditory learning. There is some sort of multidisciplinary activity. There's an art craft usually. There's a science experiment that's related to that topic, or there's a game. It varies a little bit. So it's all learned by doing. The kids don't think it's learning. They think it's just fun. But they are learning cool facts, and we also incorporate poems or music. The grizzly bear dance is an actual real social dance, and Irving Berlin wrote the grizzly bear rag in the 1920s. So in my bear program, we replicate the grizzly bear dance, and on my evaluations, I even had some of my 4th graders that I thought, oh, these little guys aren't going to like it, but the girls will. Oh no, all the boys loved it because they could roar like a bear in the middle of the music. So
that's really neat.
It's I try to make it as inclusive and accessible, and they get vocabulary words, they get some Latin words, they're learning cool facts about whatever that animal is, or that whatever that is. So it's learned by doing, and we try to make it as interactive and arts and science related as we can.
I love that. That's really good. And the last question is, like, how can we find you guys? Just a little bit of information, or of your information, like your address and all that stuff.
Right. We are located in the middle of the park, and we do have a Facebook page. If you type in Tyrrell Park Nature and Visitor Center. Most of my public events will be listed there. We're a part of the Convention and Visitors Bureau, so you can also find us on visitbeaumonttx.com. But we also have a Google pin, and the Google pin is accurate, so if you put in Tyrrell Park Nature Center, it will bring you to our site directly.
Awesome.
We work with all sorts of groups. We looking for volunteers. Lamar kids we would love to have come out and do community service projects. I work with Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. We've got a lot of things that we could be adopted to do a particular pollinator garden or recreate, help us with our exterior stuff as well. And we're always looking for corporate underwriters to continue our renovations to the historic building as well as our programming.
Indeed, got you. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Rebecca. That's all the time we have. I really appreciate you for coming in the studio and talking with us.
Well, thank you so much, and hope everybody comes out to the Tyrrell Park Nature Center.
Yes, ma'am. You have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.